the Guide to Glory initiative by Glory IAS. We are very happy to have you as our first ever guest on our first ever episode on this channel. And I'm sure our viewers would love to know about your journey from an aspirant to an officer. And along the way, maybe learn some tips and tricks that help you crack this prestigious examination. So, without further ado, we'll move on to the questions that were posted by our viewers on our community channel. If I go too fast, please let me know.
No, you're perfectly fine.
Cool. So, question number one we have is how to finish and revise a book multiple times.
First of all, thank you, Vallabi, for having me here. And I'm so grateful to Glory IS and all its mentors who have given me this opportunity to share my experiences and my knowledge, whatever I can share with the students or the aspirants who are preparing for this prestigious exam. So, as far as the first question is concerned, sorry, I forgot the question.
No worries. So, our viewers asked how to finish and revise a book multiple times.
So, as far as the reading books are concerned, I think all of us who have been in this journey and who started the journey know that whenever we read a book, whenever we start a book with a pencil first and we just go through. I would like to recommend all the students, whenever they pick up the chapters, first go through the index of any particular book that we are starting with. Supposedly, I will just give an example. I think for Indian polity, everybody is using Lakshmikant. And first we go through the whole index. How many chapters we have? 47 chapters, 57 chapters. And then we pick up one chapter. First we go through that chapter through pencil. We just underline whatever good we understand is there. Then we point out, we mark and highlight the important points that we are supposed to study in that. And once we feel that the chapter we are thorough, then we can go back to the index and note down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points which we feel we've not remembered and we can remember well while revising it. And then go back to the indexing itself. So I think this is the process. I would recommend these are 3 steps that we have followed. First is you use a pencil, and second step is that whatever good you identify in the supposedly we identify that these 3-4 questions can be made for prelims or mains. We can identify that, learn them, grasp them, and then third thing is we go back again to the indexing and revise the whole chapter again. So this is how I did it, and this is what I recommend the aspirants to go for.
Excellent and concise, I believe.
Yeah.
So, question number 2 is how many subjects should one study at a time?
So, I think this varies for everybody who's aspiring, who's studying. But speaking of personal experience and many aspirants who've got in touch with me also, so I believe that we should start with one subject and finish it entirely so that we get a sense of completion. Supposedly we start the spectrum, and at times what we do is if we get bored, we can start with current affairs. So current affairs is a good option that we switch off and on another subject, because I think if boredom comes in one particular subject, we should not switch to another subject. Again, I'm saying that this may vary for every aspirant who's comfortable in carrying out the practices according to themselves. But I believe that if a spectrum we have started and it is finishing in 1 month, 2 months, if we are revising or learning for the first time, then in between, if you want to take a break of current affairs. You can read newspapers, you can read magazines, or you can take out the material of Glory IS only, which is there for current affairs. Or what you can do is to just understand. At times what happens is, supposedly we are doing one subject, we think after just reading the subject that we've done it. So it is not how it is. We should be able to remember things, because when we have to deliver in the examination, so we can't do A, B, C, D. We have to precisely know what is the particular answer for that particular question. So I think remembering things is equally important. For that, a sense of completion has to be in a subject. So that is my take on that.
Excellent. Right. So how would you ideally divide your day?
So many of the aspirants, they've asked me that how to divide day. So usually I prefer that the morning hour you should give to the most difficult part of your journey. Supposedly, again, we are starting with GS only. Whatever subject you have picked, supposedly you have picked up geography as a subject to finish first. So first half of the day you should give to geography, and noon session for everybody. It's a sleeping time. It's a lunch time. It is the tea time. So that those particular hours can go to the current affairs, and in the evening the optional, because again you get freshen up. There are students who have a habit of taking a nap or something in the evenings or in the afternoon. So again you can start afresh with your optional. So first half should be your GS, whichever subject you are again, because again we have four subjects. So GS paper 1, 2, 3, 4. So in which in any of these, if you've picked up a subject, do that. And in the afternoon you can go for current affairs, have some masala, discuss with your friends.
Yeah.
In the evening during tea time, and get fresh for your optional again in the evening time.
That's quite a framework, and I think it's very followable.
Yeah. It's very followable. I've seen many students doing it, and I myself followed this schedule.
Right. I am sure the aspirants would love this, love to try this. So, moving on to the next question.
Yeah.
Can we prepare for UPSC along with a job?
So that's a tricky question, because it depends on a personal experience and individual capacity, I would rather say. So there are students who have made it very well while pursuing a job they have done. But I feel that it's too big an exam to dovetail it with a job. So I personally believe कि इसको आपको 100% ही देना चाहिए, बिकॉज ये इतना डिमांड करता है एग्जाम आपसे कि आप अपना 100%, 1000% दें. उसके बाद once you are very abreast with all the topics, all the subjects, then you can think of taking up something. But if you're taking a job also, I would recommend take a job in Glory IS or any other such institution, so that you don't lose track of the subjects that you have learned.
Right. So, were you preparing full time?
Yeah, I was preparing full time. I didn't do any job. However, I used to help my friends out, and I used to maybe make notes for them or anything else, so that if we get bored, we have something else also to do. So I was also writing a book at that time.
Oh.
So this was my breakaway from the boredom, if I had so.
We would love to know more about your book.
So I had written on Indian society some topics of current nature of social issues. So I used to write on those, and I also had written some articles, some general articles in various magazines at that point of time on Indian diaspora or Israel-Palestine issues, something which is related to my exam, because I think we have to be focused on the goal. So anything which takes us closer to the goal, I think we should follow that. And whatever parallelly we are doing, I always say to many of the people and students I get in touch with, that anything which is going along with the goal, which is making you closer to the goal, I think we should do that. Even it's meditation, or it's dancing for you, or it's singing for you, but everything should take you near to your goal.
Right.
So
I agree completely. So I had a follow-up question for this. Maybe I'll ask you at the end.
yeah.
Let's move on to the next question. Question number 6 was, so you chose sociology as your optional.
Yes.
Right. So can you tell us more about the pros and cons of that subject?
So first of all, I had chosen a subject which I loved. So I always tell people that there is nothing which is good or bad. It is just about what you love. Because take an optional which wherein you are in love with that optional. So sociology was something which was very close to my heart, because it had all the social issues, it had all the societal things in it. So I think for sociology, the positives I would like to highlight is it can be used anywhere. Whatever you are doing, you can write it down. Maybe it's an essay paper, or it is a GS2 paper, GS1 paper. I found it very helpful for all the four GS papers also. And I think in ethics also, whatever topics we read, we can inculcate the theories in it. We can elaborate our answer writings. So it gave a lot of material to write, academically speaking, and in terms of quality of your answers. Second thing is it is very easy to grasp. I think there are 10 or 15 major thinkers that you have to be abreast with. So rest of the thinkers that you can pick up from the newspapers or anywhere, and you can just keep on writing in sociology. So I had followed all the standard books in sociology. So I had actually gone too far than my interest and optional. So I really loved to be in that subject. So I could see sociology in everything.
I guess the subject is
And
that relatable.
yeah, it's actually very relatable subject.
Yeah.
And as far as cons is concerned, see, I don't find any cons myself, but what I can collate from others is they supposedly if somebody has a science background or they have a mathematical mindset, so they don't find it very objective to answer. It's a very subjective subject again. It depends on an individual interpretation of the subject. So that's how it is.
Okay. And
But two things, just two things to again revise is first, it is very good for all the papers. For your essay paper, also, it is very good. So,
so it
essay
depends
and
on
ethics, we can
the
use most of the theories. Yes.
right. Right. So, do you think it's easy to score in sociology?
See, all depends on your how you've studied it and how much you have absorbed the subject. I personally feel it's a very scoring subject, and since it is used in many other GS papers also and in your essays also, I think it's a very doable subject. Scoring, it depends individually, but it's a very doable subject, and you can easily absorb the subject given the time frame of this exam.
Got it. Great.
Yeah.
So, the next question that was posted on our community channel was, what is the best source to study sociology? Is the Nitin Sangwan book enough or something more is needed?
So I have not gone any of the toppers books that you've just mentioned, but I had followed the standard books. Horolumbus I had followed, and I had followed sir while preparing for this exam. However, I've just seen the notes of Glory IS also, so which are there. So I think it depends. I think standard books are more relevant, and however, if you need support of any of the written material, any of the notes material that you can get of anything, and then make your own notes in it because I think nowadays sociology, all the contemporary topics are also coming. So every day when you go through the newspaper, you can pick up few lines from that also. So you have to keep on writing, make your own standard notes first. So you can also identify any of the toppers note which are available in the market or the institution that I'm talking to or any other institution for that matter. And keep on writing every day something or the other, some current examples which make your answers different from others. So,
Got it. Great.
yes.
I think we will put the link for the Glory IS compilation in the description box down